This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 25. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. In the journeyings often in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fasting often, in cold and nakedness. Besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, that care of all the churches. Who is weak, and I am not weak? Who is offended, and I burn not? If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern my infirmities. The power and Father of our Master, Yahushua HaMashiach, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not. Let's get it again right here, what he said. Patrick says that he was also many years later a captive for 6. Let me go up a little more just for the sake of it. Legally, he was without protection. So he pretty much went up like we do in the streets today. All right, we ain't carrying guns. We're not going out there trying to really be violent. We try to walk in the spirit. But as you can see, people become very aggressive towards us. But that's what happens when the truth comes out. It says legally he was without protection. And he says that he was on one occasion beaten, robbed of all he had, and put in chains, perhaps awaiting execution. Patrick says that he was also many years later a captive for 60 days without giving details. Maruchai's, I think I'm saying that, Maruchai, Life of St. Patrick, contains a supposed prophecy by the Druids which gives an impression of how Patrick and other Christian missionaries were seen by those hostile to them. Okay? You got to remember, these were Israelites scattered abroad. That's what it is. They're waking up to the truth, and they're just like us. As we wake up, we go wake up others. All right? So let me get a script that pertains to that. James 1:1, a servant of power and of the Master, Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting. And let's see what he carries on to say. Knowing that, my brethren, verse 2, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of power, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. And see, that he's an Israelite, man. All these were Israelites scattered abroad, okay? And they have faith, and they asked, and it was given to them. We're seeing by those, so let's see, it says, the Druids, which give an impression of how Patrick and other Christian missionaries, which he just declared earlier that they were calling them the children of God, which means our sons of God, which is Israelite. They were calling him an Israelite. We're seen by, this is how they were seen by those hostile to them. Across the sea will come a head, crazed in the head, his cloak with hole for the head, his stick bent in the head. He will chant impieties from a table in the front of his house. All his people will answer, so be it, so be it. So he's pretty much prophesying. I'm going to get that word real quick. Impieties. Let's get that word. It says,
impiety.
Impieties.
Impiety.
Impieties. Lack of piety or reverence, especially for a god. He blamed the fall of the city on the impiety of the people. It says sinfulness, sin, vice, transgression, wrongdoing. So he was teaching in the camp. He's pretty much telling them, you went off, you refused to come back, so then death and destruction is coming upon you in this place. And what are they saying? It says, all his people will answer, so be it, so be it. That's right, that's right. Okay, so pretty much he had a camp, and he's prophesying in Ireland. Okay, and then I'm going to show you this one. This one's beautiful too. The second piece of evidence that comes from Patrick's life is the letter to Coroticus, or letter of the soldiers of Coroticus, written after a first remonstrance. Let me get that. Let's get that word.
Remonstrance. Remonstrance.
Remonstrance. A forcefully reproachful protest. It says demonstrate, show. Opposition, to say or plead in protest, reproof, or opposition. Was received, so his protest was received with ridicule, and insult. In this, St. Patrick writes, and I'm just in the spirit joyful of this, because pretty much you can see this. He's in a camp. He's in an Israelite camp, and it says he had taken some of Patrick's. St. Patrick writes an open letter announcing that he has excommunicated Coroticus because he had taken some of St. Patrick's converts into slavery while raiding in Ireland. Just like Sakari, just like IUIC, just like ISUPK. That is slavery, and there is men that go into these bondages, just like into Kemetic. Okay, so he's cursing out these Israelites for taking out other men and putting them into bondage. taking them out of the truth, just like Elder Torah, just like the elders do of great millstone do. The letter describes the followers of Coroticus as fellow citizens of the devils and associates of the Scots. Okay? And apostate Pict, based largely on the 8th century glossary. So they're just trying to give you an understanding. Coroticus is taken to be British. Let me make sure I'm on the right. Yeah. Coroticus is taken to be King Sir Reddick of all cult. So he's the leader of a cult. He's Nathaniel. He's General Johanna. He's a Black Panther leader. He's all these fucking false doctrines. He's just another one of them. Thompson, however, proposed that based on the evidence, it is more likely that Coroticus was a British Roman living in Ireland. So pretty much through the evidence they said of the spirit, they knew he was not an Israelite. Through the evidence, he was a British Roman living in Ireland. He was an Edomite that looked like an Israelite. He was a terror. He was an Edomite with color. And he was destroying the church, taking first they were believers to the truth under St. Patrick, the apostle of Ireland, but then he was leading them into slavery, which is just another doctrine. And he was cursing them out. It has been suggested that it was the sending of this letter which provoked the trial which Patrick mentions in the confession. Okay? But I wanted to point out one more thing, because I mean, pretty much it goes into a battle. All right? And that's what Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah 30, in the blue letter, Tazadah, which it means female adversary. Okay? But I also want to get the day, March 17th. Let me go ahead and get that real quick.